Good morning, misfits. Let me start with some gratitude. Thanks to everybody. I'd like to talk about it'll take me a while because my processing speed is so slow at the moment. I mean, it always is, but my, I suppose, expression is really slow. What can we do next with supporting Lucy? I wanted to talk about a experiment which I'm going to what's the word when you like retell something in your own way? Because I haven't read that specific experiment that was done from the scientist who did it. But I've read about it like from people who've reproduced the same experiment and to like see how it happens in real life. So it's not going to be an exact retelling, but the scientist is called Masaru Emoto, and he worked with water crystals. It's really amazing. I recommend looking into it if you haven't looked at his any of his books before. Trying to remember the name of the one I used to have. It was called something like The True Power of Water. So you can already tell from the title it's going to be absolutely amazing. The experiment is, what is that word I'm looking for? Not paraphrase, but yeah, that kind of idea. They had 3 jars of rice, and they put water into each jar and kept them in the same conditions, except that the first jar, every day, they said to the jar of rice something like, "I love you, I love you, I love you," and maybe "aishiteru," I don't know. They said, I presume they did it in Japanese because he was a Japanese scientist. And then the second jar, they said "bakadaro." They called it an idiot, which is a big insult in Japan. So they said it was stupid and "I hate you" to the second jar of rice. And then the third jar, they ignored it and they didn't say anything to it at all. And then the outcome was, let's say 3 weeks or whatever it was, they've been doing it every day. The first jar, which had received love, attention and positive words, was fine, looked good, looked more or less the same as when they started. The second jar looked bad. It didn't look appetizing anymore. You wouldn't want to cook that anymore. It didn't look the same. And the third jar, however, was the most interesting result because it had gone disgusting and black and rotten and awful, and that was the jar that was ignored. So Emoto said he compared that to talking to someone, specifically raising a child, and said that the worst harm is neglect. So I hope I kind of summarised that well enough to understand. Let me just show you this greenery. Another thing he did was, I think they set up some group healing at the time, or maybe it was based on his work, where they healed water in lakes. And there was a particular lake, I think, in Japan, which was very polluted, and the pond life were not surviving. And everybody consciously thought of that lake at, let's say, 9 a.m. every morning or whatever. And they all, said positive things to the water in the lake, and it physically improved. They literally healed the quality of the water in the lake. So they did a few different things like that, and he's looked at like water quality and lots of different things. It's really interesting. He looked at like what happens to the quality of water when it goes through pipes. Oh, there's people everywhere. I'm trying to walk somewhere where there isn't people. I'm gonna have to all right, I'm gonna carry on where I was going because there's one person coming, but sorry, I get distracted. So Lucy's in a yang metal energy year in the 9-star key Chinese medicine system that I was talking about recently, which is a year of respect, authenticity. Hello. Hiya.
Thank you.
It's alright.
Come on now.
Refining. Metal energy in Chinese, 5-element theory is about refining. Sorry, I'm having trouble making sense verbally. I hope you can follow along well enough. So, authority, father figure, overseeing, bigger picture, as well as finer details. Some of the themes of 6 year, which is this metal energy that Lucy would be in now, she is in, according to 5-element theory, 9-star key. So it's a good year for truth, it's a good year for energy healing for her, because she'll be extra sensitive, and she has a 6 number in her birth year pattern of how she goes through her life, which is maybe one of the reasons that triggered Brewery and Co to go against her, because she had that authority, she had that integrity, and maybe it triggered anger and fear in them. There's more to that. That's a big topic of why they targeted her. So that could be one aspect. So I was thinking we could use this in a way of now things have more come to light. I feel like we have more of an overview of what's actually happened, thanks to all the work that everyone's been doing, and we also know how angry we are, and that's a good thing. I mean, it is for me, because I couldn't voice that. I haven't been capable of voicing it yet, but I internalised it, and experiencing it voiced by Mark, it brings me back to life. So I hope you're okay, Mark. And Callie's song, if anyone needs a bit of how can I even summarise it? It's just genius. Well done. It's absolutely amazing. Right, so anyway, we could, so what I was going to say was, if we think of Emoto's work, if we think of the harm of neglect, we're not going to drop this, we already knew that. We're not going to neglect Lucy, and we could use the neglect against some of the people who've harmed her. I mean, I feel like we're kind of already moving in that direction. We're sort of like, we've realised that they're beyond help and that they're not going to come to responsibility for what they've done. Most of them. I think that maybe there's some exceptions I might look into if I ever get round to it, because I get overwhelmed easily. Most of them are just beyond help, aren't they? The paediatricians and all sorts of people, really. Let's leave that. Anyway, so we could ignore them and that'll kind of work against them, but in a helpful way, if you see what I mean. And then, because sometimes I've heard it said that they're like, people who are narcissistic, they actually love it. If they're really that ill with being narcissistic, that they actually love it even when we say bad things about them. So in a way, they do feed off that. So yeah, it's still, we had to go through this process though to understand what kind of people we're dealing with, or what kind of energies we've been dealing with, and Lucy's had to be up against. She's such a gentle person, she's such a good person, and she has a lot of good qualities. So I was thinking maybe some of the ways we can go forward with it is to respect and go into more of her qualities and study what's so good about her. And I'm not saying she has to be a perfect person. However, I do think there's something in it that because she's good and truthful, that she was targeted. I mean, some people could agree and just say it's random. They could have done it to anybody. But from an energetic standpoint, if she's that good, then something that bad could be like, it's polarising. I don't know how to explain it because I don't know myself. I kind of know what I mean, but I can't explain it verbally. So yeah, we could spend more time like focusing on her and the fact that she's going to be okay. I hope she is going to be okay, because I've been a scapegoat and I do suffer and it's horrible. However, it's a different suffering. It's not a suffering that I've harmed somebody and I've done something bad. It's a suffering that I've been harmed because of my good qualities, and I've been harmed because of my naivety, and I've been harmed because of speaking the truth. So it's a sort of, you could say it's kind of like the nicest thing to have to regret. I don't regret doing something bad and putting someone in prison, or, you know. I don't regret. Oh, I wonder if that was a Freudian slip. I was going to say I don't regret standing up for myself. Oh, dear me. But I still have a lot of work to do with my own personal development, and I'm just obsessed with it. I'm working on it every day. So I think it's all going to help if we all work on ourselves, and that's a respect of human. It's a respect of who Lucy is and the fact that she's an individual and she's a human being. And it's not fair that she's been exiled and all for what, you know. So anyway, I'm not trying to trigger people to be angry again, but unless you want to. Yeah, I don't know. So what I'm saying, prayer, in whatever way, shape or form people like to do that, whether it's positive affirmations or literally praying or whatever you feel, we could do that for Lucy this year more so than ever. I was thinking, I don't know, I was thinking about maybe trying to contact her, but I don't really know what I'm scared of. I think I'm just scared of her not getting my letter, or just the fact that I won't know if she got it or not, or, you know, would she be suspicious of a letter if I sent her, you know, or I don't know. I guess not, because what I would write in the letter would be genuine. So it's a year for her to come to realise who she is, and you know, have more conviction in her own right to be here, and her own sorry, sometimes I dissociate when I'm talking. Her truth. I don't know, I can't find words for it. Anyway, there's lots of us, so I'm sure someone can find better words than I can right now. And lots of love to you all.